Right, then shall we start? Hello? Can you all hear me? Shall we start? Hello, can you all hear me? Yes or no? Okay, right. So we have discussed formattings, paragraph formatting, and how to insert equations, tables, and how to insert we could discuss how to insert images, right? So okay, today we are going to discuss how to prepare a say report, right? So when you prepare a report, you have to include say page numbers, right? In addition to that, we have to insert we call a table of content, right? So there are some other things as well, right? So now we are going to discuss how to prepare that kind of a document, right? So we call something called a report, right? Report. So now let's see how to do that, right? So in order to do that, I'll take some say sample document, right? So with several images, right? So I'll upload this sample document to the LMS so that you can use this, right? So okay, now this is my sample document. I'll share it and let's see how to prepare this kind of a document. Just wait. Yeah, this one. Okay, then I have downloaded some images as well, right? So we can use those images. I'll upload uh, these images, including the sample document, right? So that you can download this and use in your uh, practice purposes, right? So anyway, uh, I'll share this. Okay. Now, this is my sample document. So, in this document, I have several, say, chapters, right? So, here I shared it. Okay. Now, this is my document, right? I think you can see it, right? Okay. Now, I have shared it, right? Okay. So, this is my document, right? So, assume this is a report, right? Or this is some kind of say textbooks, right? So now I'm going to prepare this document, right? So this is my document, right? So at the first page I have a first chapter, right? So labeled by computing, right? So when you go through this document, so there is another chapter called chapter 2, right? So it is computer architecture, the chapter labeled by or in other words, this is the heading of the chapter or title of the chapter, right? Okay, now first of all, what we have to do, as you know, we have to prepare the layout of this document, right? So by the way, can you all see this document? I have shared this. Is it okay? I have shared this document. Can you all? Yeah. Okay. Okay, now first of all, you have to set the page layout or the layout of the document, right? So I'll go to the page setup. So first of all, I'll set the size of the page. So I set say A4 size, and I set the normal margin 1 inch from top, bottom left and right. So all 1 inch, and here I keep some space for binding. So because assume now I'm going to I'm going to take a printout of this document. So therefore, I keep some space for binding. So that is called gutter space. Gutter space. So here I keep set set 0.3 inch for gutter space. So here now you can see keep some space for binding. So then I click OK. Okay. So that's about the page layout. And I select whole document by using Control A key combination. While holding the Control key, press the A for selecting all content of the document. And I'll say I check this show and hide option. Now you can see here I use the enter key only when breaking the paragraph, right? So I set this paragraph as justify alignment, right? So I justify all the paragraph, right? And I set say 1.5 line space, 1.5 line space within the paragraph, within lines, say 1.5 line space. So here we can keep one space between two paragraph. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, first of all, I want to insert page numbers. Page numbers. Before that, I want to include table of content. Table of content. So in singular we call patuna, right? Say table of content. So usually we include table of content into the first or second page, right? So you know what is table of content, right? So in any document or in any textbook, right? So we can find a table of content, right? Table of content, right? So we have to include a table of content within the say page number 2, right? You know what's meant by table of content, right? So for the time being, just like this, right? So this is called table of content, right? So we can have labels of chapter headings along with uh, the number of the page where that chapter is available, right? So we call that is table of content. We call TOC, right? So usually we have to insert this table of content at the second page of the document, right? So first page leave for the say title page, right? So what we have to do, we have to insert some empty pages at the beginning of the document, right? So how can we insert empty pages? So I keep my cursor in at the beginning of the first line of the document, right? So then we go to the insert tab, and from here we can insert the blank page. If you want, you can insert the cover page as well, right? So first of all, I'll insert a blank page, right? Blank page. Then it will be inserted a blank page at the before the first page, current first page, or beginning of the document, right? First page, right? Or there is a shortcut. So keep your cursor there, and while holding the control key, you can press the enter key, right? So it will be inserted a new page. So likewise, I insert several pages. Now I have inserted three empty pages. So here three empty pages, and then from the fourth page onward, so we have content, right? So if you want, you can go to the first page and you can insert the cover page as well. So you can have here there are several templates, so we can insert the cover page as well, right? So I'll insert the cover page called say computing, right? And here if you want, you can insert your name, something like that, right? Okay. So in here, in the say this is the second page. So here I'm going to insert the table of content. Here I'm going to insert another say information. So here I'm going to insert another information. So here are notes, right? So this is the first page, second, third, fourth, fifth, right? So page number 5 start the content of my document, right? So actually now this document usually we can break into two components or two sections. We call two sections, right? So first section contains actually the information about the document. Second section contains the content of the document, right? So this is the page. This is the last page. So we can label. So this is the first section, right, which contain the information of the document. And this is the second section. So actually, this is the first page of the second section where we have the content of the document, right? So in terms of sections, so this is the last page of the first section. This is the first page of the second section, right? Okay, so I place my cursor in the last page of the first section. And so actually now, there is no sections in this document. So what we have to do, we have to break this document into two sections, right? So we have to break this document into two sections. So we have break our document into columns. So similarly, we can break my document into two sections. How can I break this? So there are several ways to do this, right? So I place my cursor at the last page of the first section, then go to the layout tab. Then here there's option called breaks. Go to the breaks option, then click on this break icon. And from here, from this menu, there is another section called section break. Section break. So here there's an option called next page. Next page, right? So here we can see, so if you place your cursor there, so you can read this message, right? So that which means, so here, once if you enable this option, so what will be happen? Here it says insert a section break and start the new section on the next page, right? Which means, so this option break the document into two section or insert a new section, right, and start the new section on the next page, right, which means this option break the document into two sections and the new section start on the next page onwards, right? So you can see, right? So here there are two sections. So here this section is differentiated by the lines. So this is underlined by red color. So this is the usual color, right? The black color, right? So I enable this option from here, right? Go to breaks and next page, right? Breaks and next page. Then what will be happen? So you can see here section 2. So if you double click on here, here you can see this is section 2, right? There may be some problems like this, right? So if you want, you can do from here. I keep my cursor there and go to layout, break, next page, right? So here you can see now, so just you can double click on this actually, so this is called header section. We will discuss it later, right? So you can double click on here, then the header section will be activated. So by using the header section, we can find what is the section of this page. This page belongs to section number 2, right? So this page belongs to section number 1, which means my document has been break into two sections, right? So first section contains 4 pages, right? So all other pages are belong to section number 2. Have you got it? Have you got that? Did you understand? Yes. Did you understand it? So for, you have to understand this. So otherwise the other formattings will be you can't understand the other formatting, right? So this is the basic, right? So break the document into sections, several sections. So in my case, I break my document into 2 sections. So if you close this header section from here and then I'll undo this. So if you just double click without breaking section, you can see. So this is header, this is also header, right? There is no section break. So how can we break this section, right? So sometimes you have to place your cursor there or the last page of the first section, or place your cursor first page of the second section. Then go to layout, breaks, and just section break, right? Now you can see here second section has been started from the page number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So anyway, now I have break my document in 2 sections, right? So now what I want to do, so before entering the insert table of content, so we have to insert page numbers, So you may have seen, so in textbooks, so the first section, that means the sections where the pages contains the information of the document, right? Like table of content. And the other section means the section where the pages contains the content of the document, right? So usually the first section, the page numbers of the first section labeled by, say, Roman numbers. So what I want to do, first section, first section should be labeled by Roman numbers. Second section should be labeled by Arabic numbers, right? Now let's see how to do that, right? So I keep my cursor on the first section. First section means any page of the first section, right? And go to the insert tab. And here there is an option called page number. Page number. So first of all, we have to set the numbering format. Numbering format, right? So I told you that I want to insert, or I want to label first section by Roman numbers, right? So I go to the page format, page numbers. So here I have to set the numbering format. So here I set the say there are two Roman numbers numbering formats, lowercase and uppercase. I said just a lowercase, right? Start from 1 and click OK. So this is just set in the numbering format, right? Still page numbering has not been inserted, right? So I go to the page number, and from here I can place page numbers, right? So if you want, you can set uh, place into the top of the page or bottom of the page or page margins. So if you go to the top of the page, you can set either left, center, or right, right? So likewise, so just I insert the page number on the top of the page, set say center. Now you can see first section labeled by Roman numbers, right? So usually we don't insert numbers for the title page, right? So here I insert page numbers for the section 1 or the first section, right? Which is labeled by Roman number format, right? So for the second section, right? So what I want to do, I want to insert numbers starting from 1, and the numbering format should be Arabic number format. So I go to the insert page number. First of all, I have to set the numbering format, right? So I set the numbering format as, say, Arabic. So if you want, there are several styles. Even Arabic, there are several styles. So just 1, 2, 3, or you can keep hyphen with front and area of the number. So you can place the hyphen, right? So likewise, there are several styles, right? So I use this style, right? So place the hyphen before and after the number. And usually here, usually start from 1, but here it start from 0. Just I start from 1. I set this start from 1. If you want, you can set 0, right? So I'll set start at 1 and click OK, right? So still that number, the page numbers has not been inserted to the page, right? So how can we insert the numbers? Go to the page number. Again, I use the top of the page and I set the say middle, right? Now you can see a second section starting from 1 and numbering format is Arabic, right? First of all, you have to set the numbering format, and you have to place the cursor at the second section and insert the page numbers into the whatever location that you wish, right? According to your selection, the numbering format and the place will be changed, right? So now the first sections are labeled by Roman number system, right? And the second section labeled by Arabic number format with this style, the style that we have specified, right? Have you got this? Did you understand? Yes. Okay. Okay. Then I think you got this. Then now I have insert the numbers, right? And now what I'm going to do, now I want to format these chapters including the label or the title of the chapters, right? So again, there are several ways. The first thing is, so if you want, you can select the chapter, the chapter title, and then you can format using the font formatting, and you can align using this paragraph formatting of this center, left, or any alignments. Likewise. So then what you have to do, you have to apply the same formatting for the second chapter. So if there are 10 chapters, we have to repeat the same formatting 10 times, right? So that is uh, possible, but not effective, right? So effective, actually, that is effective, so but not efficient, right? So there are, so assume there are 10 chapters, then you have to repeat the same formatting 10 times, right? So there are a number of subtitles. Then you have to repeat the same formatting again and again. So that is inefficient, right? So therefore, what you can do, so there are several already defined styles, right? So we can use these defined styles, or you can create your own style, right? So first of all, let's see how to use this available style. Later on, we can customize this, right? So I'll select the chapter one, and I use this heading one style, heading one, right? So if you right click on here, we can go to the modify. Then here we can find the default formatting. This is the font type, right? Calibri. Size is 16. So this is the default color. Default alignment means left, right? So likewise. So here we can have this formatting, right? So I'll set the heading one style for the level one chapter, level one heading. So this is say level one. So this is the chapter titles, right? So I'll select this, and then I set say heading two for the chapter title, right? Chapter one, set heading one. So the title of the chapter set say heading two, right? So again, I go to the second chapter. Similarly, I apply the heading one for the chapter two and select the title and set heading two. That's it, right? Okay, so that is the level one and level two. Say, let's say chapters, chapter one, two, three are level one, then title is level two. Likewise, there are some subtitles. So, for example, here the computer hardware, I set level three, heading three for the subtitle. So, the computer software, I'll set heading three, right? Again, we have system software. So I'll set heading 4 for the this level, right? Application software, heading 4, right? So that's depend on the your selection, right? So here, so this is heading 1, this is heading 2. So let's say this is heading 3 subtitle, right? Again, if you have another, say, computer organization, right? So this is heading 3, this is heading 4, likewise, right? So let's say this is heading 4. Likewise, so depending on the level, just keep this one as it is, right? Okay, now we have several chapters, including chapter titles. Now we can insert a table of content. So let's see how to insert table of content. I place my cursor at the first page of the second page of the first section, right? So we skip this title page, and now we have insert the what you call chapter labels, including chapters and chapter titles, and several subheadings or subtitles as well, right? And we have already insert the page numbers, right? So how can you insert the table of content? Go to the reference tab, and here there is a section called table of contents, table of content, right? So I'll go to the table of content. So there are some inbuilt formatting, right? So there are some inbuilt formatting. So if you want, you can select one of them, or you can customize this format. You can go to the custom table of content, and from here we can customize our table of content. So for example, so this is the default format. So here are the headings will be there, and here we know this is called leader, tab leader. So we use these tab leaders in settings tab, right? So and here we have the page numbers. So if you want, you can remove page number. If you want, you can insert, you can change this tab leader style. So if you want, usually this is dotted line by default. So if you want, you can use this kind of dash, or you can use the underline, right? Or I said, see, default one is dotted line. I said, see, a set of say dash. So by default, we have only 3 levels, right? And from here, we can select whatever format. So this is the classic format. So this is the modern format. So this is a formal format. So I said formal format, and I changed this tab lead, right? Instead of dotted line, I have inserted this hyphen, right? Okay. Now I change this formatting and click. I insert table of content. Now you can see table of content has been inserted, right? So this is the chapter 1. So this is title. And here we have 2 subheadings, computer hardware and software, right? So what is the advantage of this table of content? The main advantage is here actually table of content. So these labels are act as links. So these are links, right? So for example, if you want to visit to the chapter 2, go to the chapter 2. So without scrolling down, so here we have the page number as well. What you can do, so when you move your mouse pointer over this table of content, you can see there's a message called control plus click. Control plus click, which means, so if you press the control key here, you can see this mouse pointer, the symbol of the mouse pointer will be changed to this kind of a hand symbol, right? So at the time you can click on here, then it will be directed to the chapter 2, right? Which means, so these labels are act as links. So these are behave as links. So if you want to go to this, if you want to visit this computer organization, topic called computer organization, you can press the control key. Now you can see the symbol will be changed, and at the time you can click on here. It will be directed to the computer organization, right? So you may have noticed this. Here we have only 3 levels. This is the first level heading, second level, third level. But if you go to the sales computer software, right? So we have another level, system software, application software, right? So this is also heading 4, actually heading 4. So in my table of content, the heading 4 will not be available, right? So this is heading 3. And then once if you have heading 4, this is heading 3, this is heading 4. The title like micro architecture, or the title like the system software, right? So which are not available in my table of content, system software, application software, because those are level 4. So if you go to system software, that is level 4, right? So which means, so here we have only 3 levels. The reason is the format, whatever format that you select from here we have only 3 levels. Here we have select 3 levels, heading 1, 2, and 3. The whatever label which has been formatted by heading 4 will not be there. So here we can increase number of levels. Now I increase up to level 4. Then heading 4 will be there, right? Okay, then I click OK. Now you can see. So they asked to confirm, replace this table of content, including level 4 heading. I click OK. Now you can see level 4 headings will be inserted, right? So likewise, we can update this table of content. There is one more thing. There are other things as well. By the way, have you got this? Did you understand up to this? Yes. If you have any questions, now you can ask, right? So this is how we insert table of content. There are some other things has to be done. Have you got this? Others, did you understand? Can you do this? Yes. Did you understand this? Okay. Now, assume now if you want to update these documents, which means so here now I want to insert some images, right? So there are two more things to do. First one is inserting images, right? So right now I have some images, right? Say computing, hardware, software. Yeah. Here, let's see. I'm going to insert image into here. Now I want to actually describe. I want to demonstrate two more things. One is update this document and change the table of content, and how to insert image into the document, right? So now I'm going to insert image into here. So I place my cursor there and go to the insert tab, insert, right? And here there's an option called picture. So I'll go to the insert picture, right? So there are two options from here, right? So you can go to the online pictures option, and from here we can uh, search images, right? Oh, so if you have already download pictures, you can go to the insert pictures from this device, and I have already insert some pictures. I have already download some pictures in my uh, into my PC. Yeah, this is DAY3. No? Yeah. So I insert say computing, right? The image called computing and insert. Now you can see the image has been inserted. So actually, assume this image, the size of this image is, I want to reduce this size. So this is not suitable for this document. So if you wish, you can keep as it is. So if you click on this image, or in other words, if you select this image, you can see there's a tab called picture tools, which means using this tab, we can format this picture. So for example, from here, we can insert, we can set, say board, picture board, right? Again, from here, we can customize this border. For example, if you want, we can set some color, right? At the same time, you can set some border style, right? Like this. If you want, you can use this dash borders, right? So likewise, we can set borders, right? Here, like this, right? Give me 1 minute. Right? So likewise, we can change this border, and we can set effects that you wish, right? And mainly what I want to do, I want to change this, say, size, right? Size. So if I want to change this size, you can click on here, and you can have these controllers. So there are eight controllers. So by using these controls, usually we use this corner dot and click on here, and then you can resize this image, right? So because we have to preserve this ratio, otherwise, usually we don't use this kind of resize method, right? So if you want, you can do that, but we have to preserve this width and height ratio, right, of the image. And if you want, you can crop this image. So for example, assume I don't need this section, then you can go to the crop option, and you can cut down, sorry, you can remove some sections from here, right? So you can remove some areas like this, right? So likewise, we can customize this, you can format this image. And so now you can see, you can't move this image here and there, right? So the reason is, here we can have option called wrap text, right? So if you want to, you can wrap this text with the image. You can have, say, type, right, or through. If you said through, we can have, we can move this picture through the text, right? So usually I keep, say, this one as a square, right? And I keep an image here, right? And text there, right? Like this, right? So likewise, we can insert image, right? So this is computer computing, and now I'm going to insert image called, say, computer hardware, right? So just say hardware, and just I resize like this, right? And here I'm going to insert, say, insert image related to, say, computer software. So I'm not going to browse from the on internet, right? Just insert image related to software. And here for the second chapter, so this is computer architecture. So I'm going to insert another image which is related to, say, one Newman architecture, like this, right? Okay. Now I have several images. Now what was happened? So now you can see chapter 2 start at page number 5, right? And so here the system software, that is start, that is in page number 3, right? But in table of content, now you can see chapter 2, just page number 4, because now we have updated the document, right? Update means the page numbers may be changed, right? So we have update, but we don't insert any titles, some additional titles, right? So what you can do, we can update these page numbers. Now these are incorrect, actually. So if you say chapter 2, which is earlier, the chapter 2 start available at page number 4. Right now, chapter 2 at page number 5, because once if you insert images, these page numbers will be changed. That is usual thing. So no need to worry about that. So what you can do, so no need to replace this table of content. Instead of replacing, so we can update them. So we can right click on here and update field. So here we can update only the page numbers. We can update only the page numbers. We don't need to update entire table. So once if you insert, say, titles, then we have to update the entire table. Right now, I don't need to update entire table. Instead of that, I can update page numbers. I can update only page numbers. So select update page numbers and click OK. Now you can see, so here the page numbers has been updated. I'll just undo, right? Earlier, here you can see these are the page numbers. Once if you update, so you can just right click on here and update field. That's option called update field. Then from here we can select update page numbers only. Then it will be automatically updated, right? So at the same time, you can insert some new titles, right? So for example, I have say a title called, say, computer network. So assume now I set this one as state chapter 3. I'm going to set this one as state chapter 3. Chapter 3. Then this is heading 1. This should be heading 1 style. This should be heading right? It doesn't matter. So if you want, you can insert new titles for here as well. So for example, here we can insert another title, right? So in my case, I insert a chapter at the end of the document, right? Doesn't matter. If you want, you can insert this chapter into the in between chapter 1 and 2, right? So this is the chapter 3. So let's say this is another title, say network topology. So this is say heading 3. So I remove this space, say this is heading 4, right? So now I'm going to set, say these are say subtitles. Say let's say this is heading 4, right? Bus network. So this is the star network, right? So all are heading 4. I said all are heading 4, right? Say mesh network, right? Say tree network. Likewise, I said these are heading 4, right? So there are some other topics as well, right? Now, what I have to do, I have to insert those headings into the table of content, right? Now, I have to update this. Here, in this case, update page numbers is not enough because I have insert new titles in other terms, headings, right? Then I go to the right click on here. Then I select update field. So in this time, I have to select update entire table, right? Update entire table. The other option is update page numbers, right? So updating page numbers is not enough for this, right? Because we have to update the entire table. We have to insert new headings as well, right? So I'll select update entire table and click OK. Then you can see chapter 3 also inserted, right? So likewise, we can update our table of content, right? We can update table of content as well, right? Okay. So now when I click on here, it will be directed to chapter 3, right? Now, I have already inserted some pictures. Now I am going to label these pictures. So we call captions. So those are called captions, right? So I'll select this picture, right? And how can we insert caption? So we can go to the reference tab, and here there is a category called captions, caption, right? So here we can select insert caption, insert caption, right? So by default, it's take this one as figure 1, right? Figure 1. So this is the first figure. So assume I made mistake. I just I made mistake. I skipped this by mistake. Assume I want to label that. So I'll start from here, right? So this is the second picture according to the order of the page, right? By but I'll select this one as first. Go to the insert caption. Now this is the figure 1, right? I'll select this and click OK. So this is the first figure. So here we can set the label. So this is computer hardware. So therefore I say hardware. So just say computer hardware. Right? So this is the label for the figure, right? Then I'll go to this here. If you want, you can set the board as well, right? So this should be figure 2 according to the labeling order, right? So go to the reference, insert caption. So this is figure 2. So this is figure 2. This is computer. Right. Okay, and then I go to this here, right? I said insert caption. This is figure 3 according to the labeling order, right? See, this is computer architecture, right? Right. Okay. Now I made mistake, but now I'm going to correct this. Now I'll select this, go to the reference, insert caption. Now, according to the page order of the pages, this is figure 1, right? Click OK. Now I set the say this is computing, this is processor, right? Then let's see what what was happened to the other labels. Now you can see this is automatically updated as figure 2, right? Earlier this is figure 1, right? This is 1, right? Earlier this is figure 2. It's been automatically updated, right? So earlier this is figure 3. It's been automatically updated, right? So if you select, if you insert another figure in here, you can see, right? So let's say I insert another figure called say application software, right? I insert another image related to application software into here. Then let's see what will be happened for this figure 4, right? Now I'm going to insert say image related to application program, application software. So just go to the internet and then you can just I'll select say application software, right? So I'm going to search application software. Several applications are there. So just I'll select say this one, right? And insert. So this is application software, right? So it will be downloaded to the document, right? Then I have to label this, right? Now you can see some tags are there, right? So I'll select this and then I go to the here. So if you want, you can crop this, right? So, but this is a here, this is a CC license, right? So usually we don't remove this, right? But I keep this like this and go to reference. Now you can see this is figure 4 according to the labeling order, right? But it should be figure 5 actually, according to the image order in here, right? So I'll go to the reference, insert caption. And now here you can see this is figure 4, right? So this is application software, right? I label this image like application software. Now you can see it has been automatically updated, right? As figure 5. Now, okay, figures are labeled. So usually we have to insert this list of figures into the this first section. So I'll go to the second page. So first page reserved for the allocate for the table of content. Then the second page, I'm going to insert a list of figures, right? So from here we use the caption. Here there's an option called insert table of figures, right? Again, we have a similar format as in table of content. So we can change this format, right? Formal or whatever format. Here, if you want, you can change this tab leaders, right? So all those things and click OK. Now you can see the list of figures will be inserted. Again, these labels are act as links. These are behave as links. So if you want to go to the say computer architecture, the figure of computer architecture, you can press the control key. Then you can click on this label and it will be directed to the computer architecture image, right? So that's one more thing. List of figures. There's another thing in here actually. So here these the figures are labeled in a we call the flat order. Flat order means so in first chapter we have 4 figures, right? Then the first actually this is the first figure of the second chapter, right? Which is not extract from this label, which called this is called figure 5, right? By looking at here we can say this is in chapter 2, right? By looking at the figure 4 we can't say this is in chapter 1, right? So if you want in this figure labeling, right? So figure labeling actually can be done using the chapter number as well, right? So here we can say numbering. Here we can include the chapter number, right? So for example, so usually chapter numbered by heading 1 style. Then you can insert this heading 1 style if you wish. So usually it should be 1. So start from 0. We can change that, right? So we can change that because at the end of this formatting, I'll describe that, right? So usually it says the chapter 1, chapter 1, 4th image, right? Likewise, right? Start from 1, right? Just chapter 1, image 1, chapter 1, image 2, something like that, right? Okay, so this is from including chapter number, right? So here it says that there is no chapter numbers to include this caption because we don't insert these chapter numbers yet, right? So later on I'll demonstrate how to use the chapter numbers again because here we use the chapter one. If it is first chapter, it should be one, two, something like that. So here this is a manual numbering, right? So it should be automatically numbered, right? Anyway, so this is a list of figures, list of figures. Similarly, we can list down the tables. We can list down the table. So for the time being, just I insert some empty tables, right? For the first chapter, right? So just I insert, say, a table like this. So this table one, right? So let's see, I insert another table here, right? Yeah, I'll insert a table into here, right? So go to insert. You know how to insert table, right? Just for the time being, just say yeah, two tables is enough. So I can label this table as well. Similarly to the labeling figures, you can go to the insert caption. Now this is not figures, right? So this is table. So from here we can select the table and click OK. Now this is table one. So just say say now this is computer software. Let's say types of software. Assume this table contains information about types of software. Move this table into new page, right? So this is table one. So this is the another table. I select this table and insert table of figures. Sorry, insert caption, and it should be table two. Okay, so assume this is a say a list of application software, something like that. So this is table number two, and I insert another table into the second chapter or say third chapter. Go to there, right? Insert table, right? So assume this is related to network, right? Say this is table two. So let's say types of uh, network, say mediums, right? Okay. Now I have three tables, right? That's enough. So now, similarly, list of figures, we can go to the another page, next page, right? So actually now we have only two pages, two empty pages. So if you want, we can insert another another blank page into the first section, right? I have only three pages. So what we can do, you can place your cursor here, the first section, and using the control enter key combination, we can insert a new page to the section one of the document. Then we can insert table of figures. Actually, this is not table of figures, this is table of tables. Here we can see caption label is table, right? And click OK. Then here we have list of tables. Again, these act as links. So if you want, you can go to the table 3, something like that, right? Okay, have you got this? Did you understand? How to insert table of content, how to insert list of figures, list of tables. Did you understand this? Okay. Now let's see how to insert say what you call the footers, right? So usually now we have already insert page numbers to the header section, right? So if you go to the insert, say header, and before that, so there are some other formattings as well. I'll describe those formatting, then we'll move to the headers and footers. So assume now these are the default heading styles. So these are the default heading styles, so which you used right here. So these are default heading styles, right? Chapter 1, titles, all those things. These are default heading style. So if you want, you can customize this. You can change this, right? So for example, here I want to change this font color, font style, and this alignments, all those things. So how can you do that? So you can go to the heading one. So because so here this is formatted by heading one style. Then I can right click on here, and there's an option called modify, right? So from here we can modify the heading one style, right? Heading one style. So here first of all I'll change this font type, right? So I'll use say this font, right? Hungarian, and I'll change the font size, say 20, and set this one as say center line, right? Center, right? Here we have some what you call this indentation, right? So I'll align this one as a center, right? And from here I can change this font color, right? So if you want, you can change this font color like this, right? And there are some other formattings as well. Here we can have preview. So this is the preview, right? So if you want to, you can change any color, right? So like this, right? And click, you can apply this, like click OK. Now you can see, so chapter 1 formatted like this. Not only chapter 1, all the text which are formatted using heading 1 will be changed according to the a new format. Now you can see here, this is also formatted by heading 1, right? Chapter 2. So here the third one also formatted heading 1. That means these are changed. So not only heading 1, if you want, you can change the heading 2 as well, right? So for example, you can change this font type. Let's say font like this. So I'll change a different color to demonstrate this. So I set this one as again say center. Again, right? So these are changed. Likewise, we can change. You can customize this default formattings. So no need to keep as it is. So if you want, you can customize this, right? You can customize this, right? According to the requirement, you can customize this, right? So now you can see this is the level 3. This is 3, right? So if you want, you can change this one as level 4, right? Likewise, we can customize this, right? Okay, so that's about the customized default heading styles, right? Because we have applied the default heading styles. If you wish or if you want, so we don't need the default styles. We have our own style, so we can customize into the own style, right? And here actually chapter 2, 1, 2, 3 are inserted manually, right? So instead of that, we can insert chapter numbers automatically, right? So how can we insert the chapter numbers? So here actually, so these are heading 1, these are heading 2, something like that. So uh, here for the time being, just I change this heading to alignment into left, right? So for the time being, I'll change the alignment of the heading 3 to left, right? So left align except the heading 1. Heading 1 is center. All other headings are left aligned, right? So now I'm going to insert numbering for these headings, right? So actually, this is a manual numbering, right? So what I want to do, so this is 1. This is 1, 1, because this is the first sub-level heading of the chapter 1. This is 1, 1. So this is heading 2. So if it is heading 3, this is 1, 1, 1, something like that. hierarchical number structure. So how can we do that? So we can go to this, actually, I'll select this, without selecting this, we can do this. We can go to the subnumbering. And here, if you look at carefully this style, here we have those heading styles, right? You can see. So this is the flat style. So here we can see hierarchical number style for the headings, because we have used the heading styles, right? So you can see this is the one and one hierarchical structure. Or you can have this one, right? One, the first level is Roman one, the second level is alphabet uppercase, third level is Arabic number, something like that. So usually we use this style. So if you want, you can customize. So we discuss how to customize subnumbering style, right? So here we can select this hierarchical number structure, right? Then you can see, right? So earlier, so this is there is no list order, right? So if you go to the numbering style and select the heading numbering style, now you can see this is the first one. Then now we don't need this one. This is the chapter one. This is the first subtitle of the chapter one, right? So for example, so if you select this one as heading 2, this is the second subtitle of chapter 1, something like that. So if you select this one as heading 3, this is second level subtitle of the first one, right? So likewise, so this is 1, 1, 2, hierarchical structure, right? So this is 1, 1, 2, 1, something like that, right? So if you go to the second chapter, actually now we don't need this, right? This is the second chapter, right? 2.1, right? So here 2.11, right? So likewise, we have hierarchical structure, right? Not only this, so if you want, you can insert another chapter in between these two. For example, this is computer architecture. So this is computer computing, right? So for example, if you insert a chapter in between these two. So for example, without, I want to change this, right? See, not here. So before this computer network, I want to insert another chapter. So actually now I don't need this, right? So then what I can do, I insert another blank page into the here. Now this is chapter 3 actually. So this is chapter 3. So here I insert another chapter, right? Say let's see, this is a computer, say computer, say programming. So this one into new page. So here I keep computer programming. So this empty page. Then I delete this. Somehow I insert a new chapter, computer programming. Right? Then I insert say programming styles. Good. Assume these are the titles, right? So just remove this, right? Okay. Here, so this is another chapter. According to this order, this should be this is another chapter, right? So I'll select this, right? So if you want, you can go to the new page, right? So if you want, you can remove this content, right? Sorry, this one. I'll select this one as heading 1. Now this is become third chapter, right? So assume this is the first heading. This is 3.1. So this is the second one. Say this is 3.2. So if you keep some, say Java, say C#, so assume these are heading 3, then this is 3.11. This is 3.12. So this is, let's say, C programming, right? So I'll select this, say heading. Likewise, these headings will be updated. Numbering of the heading will be updated. Now, earlier this is 3, now this is become 4. Right, 4.1, this is 4.11, something like that, right? So it will be automatically updated, right? So now what we can do, we can update the table of content, right? So without inserting a new table of content, we can just select here, right? We can select this table of content, right click on here and go to update field. Now, without, so updating page numbers is not enough because we have insert several chapters and then we change the settings, right? So we have to update the entire table. Then I'll select update entire table and click OK. Then it will be changed according to the amendments that we have done. Right here you can see this. Right. Not only that, so the things that I have to do earlier, sir. That means earlier I tried to insert the chapter number into the figures. Now we have numbered these chapters. Earlier we don't have this chapter numbering, so that's why it says the 0.1. Now I go to the say reference, insert caption. Now you can see. Now you can set the chapter numbering. Right. Now you can see this is the first image of the first chapter. Right. Now you can see this is the second image of the first chapter. Right. So here, third image of the first chapter. That's all. Yeah. This is the fourth image of the first chapter. Now you can see this is the first image of the or first figure of the second chapter. Right. So now you can see a figure labeling including the chapter number. Chapter number. Right. So if you go to this computer network, right, and if you insert an image into the computer network, right. So for example, say I insert image, say computer network, right. Then if you are going to label this reference, insert caption. Now you can see this is the first figure of the fourth chapter, right. Likewise, we can update this figure labeling, right. Computer network. Not only figures, you can update the tables as well, right. Here, this is the table number 3, but actually this is the first table of the fourth chapter, right. So we can go to the here. So these are the table captions, right. So here we can go to the numbering and include the chapter number, right. Okay. Now we can see this is the first table of the fourth chapter, right. So likewise, we can include the chapter number to the tables and figures. Then you can just update this list of figures and list of tables, right, like this, right. Here figures update, figure labeling, actually figure numbering has been updated and table numbering has been updated. Okay. Okay, have you got this? Did you understand? Yeah. Answers how to insert picture number with chapter number. No, picture number. There's a question called. Can you tell again how to add chapter number with picture number? That means how to insert the chapter number into the picture labels, picture numbering, right? So okay. So if you want, you can remove this. Yeah, if you want, you can remove this. Then I'll remove it and then explain again. So if you want, you can go to the numbering and you can remove the chapter number. Then we have figures like this. Now, is it okay? Earlier we have figure numbering. So this is the first figure. Figure means image, right? Figure. This is the first figure. So this is the second figure. I remove the chapter number from the figure numbering. This is the third figure. Now figures are labeled numbering in a flat order. For example, this is figure 5, right? Which is in chapter 2. Even chapter 2 it says the figure 5. Figures are numbering in a flat order. Flat order means starting from 1 to something. right? So even this is in chapter 10, this is figure 5, right? So we have insert images, image to the, say, here, computer network. So which will become figure 6, figure 6. So by looking at the figure numbering, so we can't predict, we can't actually, so this is not exact, or we can't, we call decode, or we can't identify this figure in the chapter number 3, either 3 or 4 or whatever chapter number, right? So we can't, so this is not, so using this figure label, we can't extract what is the chapter, right? What is the chapter, right? So what you can do, we can insert, so actually we can, here we can set the chapter number to the figure numbering. Chapter number to the figure numbering, right? So for example, this is figure, this is the figure 1 of chapter 1. Actually, chapter 1 is first, and then figure number, right? Chapter number followed by the figure, right? Okay. So how can you do that? So select this, go to insert caption, and from here, so it says that here there's an option called numbering. Now you can see here, include the chapter number. Include the chapter number to the figure number, right? Include the chapter number. Chapter number is first, and put the hyphen. So if you want, we can have another, say we can use the colon. Then chapter number, colon, figure number, right? Click OK. Now you can see this is first figure of the first chapter, right? Then the second one is chapter 1, figure 2. Chapter number is first and colon, figure number. Then this one is figure 3, chapter 1. First chapter, third figure, right? Then if you go to the next one, first chapter, figure 4. Right? By looking at this figure label, we can say this is in chapter 2, right? Second chapter, figure 1, right? And if you go to that computer network part, that is the fourth chapter. Then fourth chapter, figure 1, right? So this is how we insert that, right? Fourth chapter, figure 1, right? So if you want, you can remove this set caption. So now this is the formatting or the numbering. It has been enabled. If you remove this, figure 6. Again, you can include the chapter number. You can see, right? So this is what we used in references or textbooks, right? In textbooks, we use this. If you, when you prepare your thesis or when you prepare your report, right? So this is the format that we have to apply, right? Okay. Have you got this? Yeah. Okay, so not only figures, tables. So if you want, you can label the equations as well, right? So for example, just I'll insert some inbuilt equation, right? So we use this equation. We discussed how to insert equation earlier, right, last time. So here, so this is the equation, right? So if you want, you can set label for the equation, right? So go to the reference, insert caption, right? Here, there is no, if there is no option for equation, there's option. So if option is not there, we can create new label, right? So for example, in some versions we have only figures and tables. In this version we have equation. So if you can't find the equation, right? So what I want to do, I want to label equation, right? So if the equation option is not there, equation option is not there, we can create new label, and here we can set the label. Say just I set, say EQ. Let's say if it is example, I'll set example. Just say equation, right? Equation, say EQ. Okay, and that EQ will be there. This is a new label, right? This is the equation 1. So the equation is there, but if it is not available, or any other option or any other label that you want to apply in your report, you can create that label using new label option, right? And if you want, you can delete this, right? So these are automatic. Here in this version, we have 3, right? And click OK. Then here we can insert that equation one is say this is say area of the circle likewise, right? So you can align this in center, something like that, right? So you can do that like that, right? And we can insert a list of equations, right? So likewise, we can use the labels, right? Okay, so that's about label. And next one is how to use the footer, right? So if you want to insert a particular text into all the pages of the document, actually you can insert at top of the page or bottom of the page, right? So if you want to insert, say, in this document, I want to insert, say, computing, right? To the bottom of all the pages, right? So I want to insert the term called computing to the bottom part of the all the pages of the document. Let's say I want to insert into section one, both section one and two. So how can we do that? So you can go to the insert, and there is an option called footer. Footer. Footer means the bottom part of the document or the page, right? So there are some what you call available styles, right? So here we have the page numbers, right? Or if you want, you can use this available style, or you can use some empty option, and here we can customize this. Let's say I use, say, computing. Just say uh, and you can customize, you can format this as you wish, right? So doesn't matter, just set this like this, right? I just set like this, right? Right. And just you can remove the footer section, go to the header and footer. Here you can close the footer, or just you can double click middle part of the document, right? So here I insert the footer, then it will be apply for all the pages, right? Bottom of the all the pages, right? Here you can see, right? So it will be applied to the section one as well. So if you want, you can have you can insert two footers, or you can differentiate these two sections by footer, right? So here select this, right? So here there's option called link to previous. Go to headers and footers, go to insert header option, or just you can double click on here. Now you are in headers and footers, right? So if you want, you can remove this link and close it, right? So now this is not a link. These two sections are not linked, right? So for example, this is the first section. So let's say this is computing. Just I'll remove this, right? So this is first section, right? Now the first section, the footer of the first section has been removed, right? So you can have the footer of the second section. This is the second section which contain the footer part, right? Here also we can insert that footer part, right? Right? Okay. Actually, like this, we can customize this, right? So it says the different first page. You can remove this. Then it will be insert the footer to the first page as well. Earlier, it says the different first page, which means the first page does not contain the footer. Here, the first page does not contain the footer. Footer is available from the second page onwards. All right. So this is the footer section. So this is not linked to the previous section. This is not linked to the previous section, which means there is no link between first and second section. First section is empty. So the footer of the first section is empty, which is not linked to the second section. How can we do that? So this is the first page of the second section. So this is the first page of the second section. Even first page of the second section does not have footer, because here we use different first page, different from the other pages, right? In the other pages they have the footer, but in your first page of the second section does not contain footer. So if you want to insert footer to the first page of the second section, we can remove this different first page, right? Now the first page is not different. First page also contains the footer. So if you want, you can insert this. So if you want, you can remove this. Right now, all the pages of the first section contain the footer. Have you got this? All the pages of the second section have the contains the footer, right? Because this is not linked to previous. So if you want, you can link this one into the previous. If you link this one into the previous, right, then here the previous one is empty. Previous section or the first section is empty. So if you link with the second section with previous, this will also empty, right? So if you link this second section with the previous section, that is first section, and if you insert say UOP, so now this is the footer of the first section, right? Now this is the footer of the first section, right, which contain UOP, right? So the second section, the footer of the second section linked with the previous section. Then whatever footer which is available in the first section will be automatically inserted as a footer of the second section. If you remove this link, right, so now this is link. Now I remove this, right, which means there is no link, right? So this first section contain the footer, right? Here the second section also contain the footer. If you want, you can remove this, right? The remove means it will be remove all the pages of the second section, right? But that is not affected to the first section. There is no link. So if you want say UOP, say it's a IT center, sorry, center, University of Peradeniya. So this is footer of the first section, IT center, University of Peradeniya, right? So there is no link between first section and second section. If you want, you can insert a different footer for the second section. So I'll say computing. So this is for the second section. There is no link, right? So I'll remove that link, right? There is no link, right? Now we have two footers for two sections. First one says the IT center UOP, right? So that is the footer for the first section, right? So IT center UOP, IT center UOP, right? So it says this is the footer of the first section. Here we can see this is the different first page, because usually in the first page we don't need insert the footer, right? But for the second section, we have a footer that is different footer from the first section, which means this is not linked to previous, and in the even the first page we have the footer, right? Okay, so likewise we can insert footers to the document. Similarly, we can insert headers to the header section. Right now we have insert the page numbers to the header, right? So if you want this, yeah, if you want, you can have this kind of header, right? It says the page with the page number, page. So this is the default header. So this is not the default. So this is available header, right? It says the page, right? So again, if you want, you can insert any text, right? Say this is say computing. Let's say computer, say basics, right? And if you want, you can align this one into say left, and we can keep some tab space, this one in right, like this, right? Now we have customized the header, computer basics, right? So now you can see this header is linked to previous, right? So likewise, we can have a different headers for different sections, or even same headers for different sections. Likewise, we can have any options that you wish, right? That is depend on your requirements, right? You can practice this, right? So there are options called link to previous and different first page, right? And there are some inbuilt footers, or you can customize, right, headers and footers. Okay, did you understand that? I'll upload this video as well as this sample document, right? I'll upload this sample document with the images. You can practice this, right? Okay, did you understand? What about others? Is it okay? Okay, then I'll stop here and I'll upload this. So if you have any question or any problem regarding this when you practice, right? So you can ask through the WhatsApp message, or you can send me a direct message, then I'll explain this, right? Anyway, the requirement is you have to practice this, right? Without practice these things, you can't have what you call idea, right? So if you want to what you call uh, apply this, you have to have practice, right? Without practice, you can't remember these things, right? So if you do the same thing 2 3 times, it will be automatically in mind, right? Okay, then I'll stop here. Good night. I'll upload this into the LMS tomorrow, right? Okay, right. Thank you.